Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Food, Wine, and Whiskey in Your Own Backyard. I am Rob and Carter here tonight. How you doing, Carter?
I am doing great, man.
And Dave back on the show. How you doing, Dave?
I'm good. What's happening, guys?
I've got a full belly.
Yeah.
Those half-pound burgers we had.
Yeah, pretty good.
Homemade French fries.
Yeah,
French fries.
pretty solid.
A little dinner before we record. Figured it'd be better than trying to cook after we record.
Well, I feel like it's kind of like going to the grocery store. You know, like we'll kind of. I don't want to tell everybody what the topic is quite yet, but like,
well, they know what it is. They read the title.
Well, I guess that makes sense. Okay, so but like before we start like influencing ourselves based on our hunger, we're like we're in a good state, so we can be very objective.
Right.
Yes.
Don't go to the grocery store hungry.
Yeah, I'm not craving food right now, so none of these I'm thinking about. I'm really like, I want that, and it's jumping up a level or anything. Is that what you kind of mean?
Yeah. Like in the moment.
Yeah,
you know. All right.
Let's just talk breakfast in general. Where does it rank in meals you enjoy? You know, we got the breakfast, we got the lunch, we got the dinner. And in those three categories, can you rank those? Have you ever thought about that? Do you kind of, I mean, to me, lunch is out. It's between breakfast and dinner is my favorites.
Ooh.
And I'm a huge fan of a breakfast.
I am too.
I mean,
I'll say this. I don't eat breakfast much during the week.
Yeah,
I
don't eat a big breakfast.
Yeah, a snack, if that, you know, something like that. But like when I do have a breakfast, I really, really enjoy it. Okay. And I'd say like now lunch has a little bit of a little. I love a sandwich, and I feel like when I think of lunch, I think of a sandwich.
Okay,
so
I get that.
So maybe I would still rank it probably breakfast first from the food perspective.
Okay,
dinner second, and lunch.
Okay,
me,
Dave.
I'm going the other way around. Dinner is probably my favorite, but breakfast is right in there after dinner. Then,
okay,
yeah, lunch. I mean, lunch can be good, but it's just lunch.
I mean, when you do a really good lunch, it's like we're elevating lunch,
right?
You know, and then it's like we're going to have a light dinner because we're having this badass lunch,
right?
But
like Matt said, I mean, lunch is more sandwich type. I mean, yeah, you can definitely elevate lunch, but yeah, when I'm thinking lunch, it's something easy.
Yeah,
sandwich,
quick, get you through the day.
You know what elevates lunch? Brunch.
I thought you were going to say a cocktail or a pour.
No,
brunch with a cocktail.
No, making lunch breakfast focused. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, and I'm with Dave. I would go dinner as my favorite.
Yeah,
but I mean nipping at the heels is breakfast. Because, and the only reason is, I mean, I love breakfast, but dinners. I mean, I've just got a bigger. When I think
you got a bigger palate to work with.
Yeah, so that's the only thing that would leapfrog it. But, you know, there's obviously different breakfasts, but
right, but you're not going to have fish for breakfast. I mean,
no,
you know, for dinner you can do.
I have had some.
I need to qualify that because one of my top 5 that is in my top 5 breakfasts.
Breast.
Yes, that's what I meant to say, breast.
My top 5 breasts.
Yeah. In my top 5 breakfasts, there's one with fish in it.
Is there really?
There is.
Man, I think I might have went simple where you guys, you know, I went with my gut, just like, what do I enjoy eating?
I did too.
You did? Because I feel like when you mentioned some kind of seafood in a breakfast, I'm trying to think of a dish off the top of my head that I've ever had that had seafood in it for breakfast.
When I say it, you'll be like, oh, okay.
Okay. Because all I can think of is maybe like making a crab cake and putting it, you know, into something or something like that.
I have seafood on my list too.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Okay, now I'm very curious.
Yeah. But side note, there's a great restaurant in Houston called the Breakfast Club, and they do like a fried catfish with like eggs and stuff like that, like on the side. It's kind of like almost like
kind of like a chicken fried steak and eggs, but it's a fried catfish and eggs.
Exactly.
Man,
and it's pretty tasty, man.
That would be interesting.
Yeah, it's not something that I right away go, that sounds good, but I'm not, you know, I'm not saying I wouldn't
rule it out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I'm just saying, there's a reason there's a line in front of that restaurant all the time.
Now, here's the other thing I would say about why breakfast is so close to the dinner, nipping at the heels, is because breakfast can be dinner. You know, breakfast food can be eaten at dinner time. Typically, we don't eat dinner food for breakfast in America.
Yeah.
You know, in a lot of other countries, what they had the night before is what they
Yeah,
wake up and have the next morning. But here, we're kind of, eggs is the kind of the core when we start talking about breakfast for the most part. There's some other dishes. But.
So when I was in college, I used to live in the dorms, and at the cafeteria, Thursday night, I'll never forget it. They used to call it moonlight breakfast. And like you go to the cafeteria and they'd have all the breakfast food and it's all like a buffet style. Dude, loved it.
Really?
Like absolutely loved it.
Nice.
So yeah, my wife is very different than me. My wife prefers to have breakfast when it's breakfast and dinner when it's dinner.
Well, and she's still adjusting to being American.
Well, that's true, and honestly, they don't do their breakfast foods are not really like our breakfast.
That's what I was going
foods.
to say. They probably don't even do a lot of eggs for breakfast.
Not really.
Yeah, because most countries don't. I just recently found this out.
Yeah,
kind of reading about a couple things about different breakfasts around the world,
Mm-hmm.
and America obviously has the biggest one. As far as biggest variety of ways to do eggs and things like that. The other big one with eggs and bacon and meats was the English style breakfast.
Right. That's when you said that a lot of countries don't. That was the first thing I thought of. Well, England does.
England does, but then after that, Italians don't.
Right.
French don't. You get to the Asian countries, they don't.
Yep.
So eggs, there's some countries that still have an egg here or there, but for the most part, it's not. It's this type of breakfast that we're going to talk about is really kind of an American thing. Now, I have seen a lot of people come to the States and have some American breakfasts and go, that's freaking awesome. Yeah. I want breakfast like that.
Oh, no doubt, no doubt. And I have this like simple rule in life: bacon and a medium fried egg, like just make everything better.
Bacon.
Well, yeah, you can add an egg. If it's soft to anything, and it almost always makes it better in breakfast. And you can add a side of bacon to almost anything in breakfast, and it makes it better.
Okay, in breakfast.
Most definitely.
Yeah,
eggs almost apply in a lot of things.
Oh, definitely can convert to other other meals.
Absolutely.
But in breakfast, no, I'm not going to give away any of my stuff. But there's something on there that definitely has a fried egg on top of it.
Okay. Well, let's tee it up. Who wants to start first with their top 5 breakfast and giving us why? What makes it one of your favorites and from 5 to 1?
So are we just giving one right now, or am I giving all 5?
All 5.
Right
You're
now?
going to go through your list. We'll just do it that way. We'll let you go. We'll let Carter go, and then I'll bring up the caboose. Nothing like finishing with a strong list.
Oh God! Okay.
in through the back door.
Yeah,
that's what she said.
Can I take a pause here for just a second and say that not from a recording standpoint, but from something needs to be honored here, and that's sides. And I know that we're talking about complete breakfasts here.
Yeah,
but we have the best sides.
Well, again, because it's our traditional breakfast.
I mean, our bacon kicks England's bacon's ass.
Oh, okay.
And Canada's.
And Canada's bacon's ass.
Which is ham.
I mean, now.
Canadian ham.
I mean, and dude, I'd be remiss to not say something about diner food and crispy ass hash browns.
Okay, bringing it.
Dude, are you like stealing the thunder here?
Sorry,
or what?
sorry.
Yeah, I know. What's he trying to?
I mean, shit. Go ahead, Matt. You go first.
Sorry.
Top 5 diners might be a topic in the future.
Oh, I agree. Okay. I agree. But no, go ahead, man. Sorry.
All right. So,
and again, these are, just to clarify, breakfasts like the meal. So you get to create 5 plates.
Not
of
a
food.
Poached egg. That is not a breakfast.
Scrambled eggs.
That is a portion of breakfast.
There you go.
So
here we go, Dave.
All right. So my number 1. Well, let's go with number 5.
Yeah, 5 to 1.
I'll
5
start
to 1.
with 5 to
Build
1.
the suspense.
Yeah.
Right. Here's my seafood.
Okay.
An everything bagel with cream cheese, smoked salmon, red onion, capers, maybe a little lettuce to go with that.
Is there really lettuce on that once in a while?
I always put tomato on mine.
Tomato. Every once in a while I see somebody go with lettuce, but tomato definitely.
See,
you know what? I'm gonna agree. Well, I'm not gonna say anything.
I think it's a solid pick. I'm fat, so I wouldn't just have that as my top breakfast. That'd be a snack before we have breakfast. But it's solid. I'm not no argument. And I forgot about that one.
So that's why it's 5. But man, I love that breakfast. And for me, when I eat that, I don't really have a side with that. That's kind of the whole breakfast meal there.
Here's how I can tell you to elevate that if you'd like to know.
Let's hear it.
A solid cup of coffee.
Yeah.
We know that Dave's not
I don't drink
guy.
coffee. So.
Stop stealing from my list.
What? We're talking breakfast, not drinks that go with it. But I mean, that's a solid.
Oh, that wasn't part of the list. I put drinks with mine.
Oh, well, okay. Fair enough. I think that's fine.
Okay.
I didn't, but I can throw some in real quick.
Okay.
So my drinks with breakfast are...
What kind of alcohol?
No. Unsweet tea.
No, you're not.
No.
Oh, yeah. Or a Diet
Tea
Mountain
for
Dew.
breakfast?
Or a Diet Mountain Dew.
I figured you'd go Diet Mountain Dew. For which breakfast? All 5.
All of them. Absolutely.
Please tell me you're joking.
No, he's not.
Oh my
They don't drink
God.
coffee, him and Paige.
I'm not a coffee drinker.
They drink Diet Mountain Dew.
Diet Mountain Dew or unsweet tea. That's the way to go.
You do the dew for breakfast?
Shit. When I get up out of bed, that's the first thing I do is open a Diet Mountain Dew.
I don't know that I know of an adult that drinks Mountain Dew.
Hey, and it's Diet Mountain Dew. I'm not some West Virginia hick up in the mountains.
Hey, we like our West Virginia.
At least it's not mellow yellow.
In these coal camps that are feeding their kids Mountain Dew instead of formula.
The wonderful whites of West Virginia.
Yeah.
4 out of 5 dentists are okay with it.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's great. That's great.
All right, so that was number 5. So let me see. Coming in at number 4, let's I am not a sweet for breakfast kind of guy.
Okay.
I like a good pancake now and then, but coming in at number 4 for me is carne guisada.
Okay.
On a flour tortilla.
Look at him getting the accent.
I like that. It's almost like a white guy.
I'm like
telling
Giada.
the weather.
You know,
Yeah.
anytime she says anything Italian, it's like it's the accent Italian.
Yeah.
But so for me, it's carne guisada.
Okay.
But with what do you call them? House fries? Little potato wedges, house fries that are crispy on at least 2 of the 3 sides.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But on those house fries, you gotta have either sunny side up or over easy egg on top of the house fries.
Okay.
When you break it open, it mixes with the potatoes, and then you scoop that up with your carne guisada taco.
You're still missing something. I think you're forgetting to say it.
I don't know.
Salsa verde?
Oh, that's the condiments that go with it. You absolutely have to
slap it on top.
Absolutely. Yeah. Salsa verde.
Did you guys
You said it,
Salsa
Rob.
verde?
Yeah, that was just that's a given.
Okay.
I mean,
our listeners may not know. If they're up north and don't know this breakfast, they may not know that that's just it's like putting salt on an egg. It goes. Yeah. So that's number 4.
With tea and Mountain Dew.
Well, I mean, that is a given. I might even have both tea and Mountain Dew.
Dang.
I can just imagine that bite on that tortilla.
That is some kind
Wash
of
that
Arnold
down.
Palmer.
Wash that down with a little dew. Yeah, absolutely.
Hell yeah.
A little
Hell
dew.
yeah. All right.
I'm going to die.
Coming in at number 3,
Coming in hot.
corned beef hash.
Oh,
Okay.
Didn't even think of that, but that's badass. I do
Corned
like that.
beef hash. And again, you have to have a runny ass egg on top that breaks open, gets down into all of that. Maybe an English muffin on the side that has butter floating in the little pocket,
that's a
in the
beautiful
pockets
thing.
of the
Absolutely.
Yeah.
sliced open
That's
English muffin.
Fantastic.
You get that juice in your mouth
Yeah.
with a little splash of
That's
dew.
what she said.
Splash of dew. That's right. Yep. I mean, Man,
We're not going to let you live that one down. I've never heard of it.
Hey, I don't have to live it down. I live it every day. I'm proud.
I live this life.
I own that. I am proud of it.
Oh, my.
All right. So coming in at number 2, fried chicken and waffles.
Ooh, I like that. It's a wild card on my list. Just it's in my honorable mention.
Yep. And I should probably add a poached egg on top of the. There's a theme here. I like a runny ass egg
couldn't tell.
on top of everything.
Yeah.
So, but yeah. So the Carnegie. No, we're past the Carnegie soda. We're on the fried chicken and waffles. So fried chicken and waffles with a poached egg on top, but for the syrup, I like a pepper-infused syrup.
Pepper meaning like a hot sauce.
Chipotle.
Okay.
You might mix a red pepper-infused syrup. So it's sweet, but it's got a spicy bite to it.
Would you ever do a buffalo or a spicy chicken?
Probably not.
Okay. It's better in the syrup.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so I was going to go the opposite with mine. That's on my honorable mention list. I like a spicy chicken with like a maple syrup on top of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I guess you could go either way.
And the
there.
fried chicken on top of that waffle could be spicy, or it could be just regular fried chicken. But yeah, spicy would be excellent.
I've never had that dish.
You got to be kidding.
It's so good.
It just doesn't interest me.
Oh,
I see it and I go, waffle and chicken. Do you take a cut of the chicken, a little piece, stick it in the waffle, on the fork, you get both those pieces, dip it in that syrup, and that's your bite?
Sometimes.
Or
I tend to eat the chicken. I like it on the same plate,
Okay.
but I tend to eat them separately. I tend to eat the fried chicken maybe every once in a while with a little bit of waffle, but typically I eat those separately.
I do like that combo. I actually like the combo. Cut off a piece of chicken, grab some waffle with that syrup
Kind
on
of wrap
top.
it like a taco, dip it in that
That's
maple
tasty.
syrup. Yeah.
That's tasty. But
Yep.
is it traditional? Not really.
No.
But it's damn good.
Yeah.
what do you mean it's not traditional?
I mean, I guess it's new age traditional breakfast.
It's an American breakfast.
Oh,
Very
yeah,
popular
for sure.
American breakfast. For
Southern.
Sure.
For sure,
Southern.
Southern.
Okay,
Yeah.
is it more southern?
Oh,
You
yeah.
don't have it up north?
No.
I don't think
Oh,
so.
okay. I thought it was kind of
I think this is a Mississippi, Alabama.
Georgia type.
got to
thing.
be in California. Well, no, they don't do fried chicken.
Yeah. So
They don't do fried chicken in California?
Grilled chicken and waffles.
Oh my God.
I'm just kidding.
and their flaxseed waffles.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Oh no!
All right, and on to number 1.
Wait, we're number 1 or number 2?
We just did number 2.
Number
was
2
number
was
2?
fried chicken
Let's
and
get
waffles.
5 to 4, 5 to 2 again.
Bagel and lox.
Yeah,
Carnegie soda.
yeah.
Corned beef hash.
Okay, the corned beef hash.
Fried chicken and waffles
Yep.
coming in at number 2.
Okay.
And my favorite breakfast is menudo with 2 barbacoa tacos and a fried egg on the side of the tacos. But the menudo has to have lime, cilantro, onion.
Red pepper flakes. Again, most people do, you don't put that in there.
I never have put
Oh,
red
okay,
pepper
okay.
flakes because
Okay.
usually the place that I go to, the broth has a good
Kick to it.
level of spice.
Okay.
So, and then, so again, the egg on the side. So when I'm eating my barbacoa tacos, dip them in the runny yolk
Okay.
that is.
What's your
going
drink that you would have with that?
A do?
I'd probably go with Diet Mountain Dew.
Okay.
Okay.
I figured it was that or a tea.
Maybe add in an unsweet tea
Yeah.
with that.
Okay.
You know, I mean,
It's a very authentic Mexican,
Yeah.
like the do.
man, I don't know why y'all are even questioning.
I'm not. I just,
You probably haven't even tried it. So.
I haven't.
You know what? I
not
need to
knocking.
try it. You know how they say don't knock until
That's
you
right.
try it? I've never tried it.
Man, you know, that little citrusy kicking with amped up.
Is that a yellow 5? Or like whatever's in
Yep.
there?
Yep. Yellow number 5 dye or whatever that is that they put
Oh
into it. Plus, you know, it's
That artificial really adds
Yes.
to the overall flavor.
I mean, because it is a lemon lime citrusy drink, you got to have that yellow color in there.
Yeah. First of all, I will say this. I love everyone sitting here, and I know you guys probably like menudo. I absolutely freaking hate menudo. Like it's
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. May God have mercy on your soul.
okay. Okay. I had to let that soundbite play out too because it's amazing. But it's oily. It's. I don't like organ meat that much. I'm just not into it.
You don't like tripe?
No.
What?
No.
You don't like barbacoa? That's
like,
cheek, not organ. So.
I like barbacoa.
Okay.
I just don't like
Fair enough.
organ meat.
I mean, I love menudo, but I mean, not everybody does.
It's not for me. I know a lot of people love it. It's just I've tried it. I want to like it. I've just never had it to where I liked it.
Then you haven't been to a place that prepares it properly.
And you can change my mind. I'll polish it off with a Diet Mountain Dew. You know.
I'm going 20
now,
ounce.
Now you're on my page.
Yeah, I mean, hell yeah. But barbacoa tacos, I'm all in on that.
How do you rate Dave's list?
I rate it pretty solid.
Pretty solid.
Yeah, I would definitely say.
And I'm surprised that we didn't even have anything that matches up. I shouldn't say that. We had probably one that we can consider mashing up.
Yeah,
It's a mash.
okay.
So I think it's a solid list. Some things that I didn't think of, but solid breakfast. So
okay.
Carter, tee it up.
All right. Let me just loosen
out
up
the
my
notes.
belt and pull out the notes here. My number 5 on my list. I'm going to get pretty specific here, so just warning everybody.
All right.
I'm going to preference it with Eggs Benedict is one of my absolute favorite breakfasts. But to kick it up just even further, a crab cake Eggs Benedict with crispy brunch potatoes, a little fresh fruit, strawberries and blueberries on the side, and a croissant with a French 75.
Ooh.
Little champagne cocktail.
Okay.
It's wine-based, so kind of maybe, I'm
Sure.
speaking to you a little bit more.
But no Diet Mountain Dew.
No Diet Mountain Dew.
I'm going to guess there's none of your meals with a Diet Mountain Dew.
Let me look at my list again. I don't know, but no.
I was this close. I considered it and decided.
I mean, we should just title the episode Diet Mountain Dew, thumbs up or thumbs down. Yeah. This is awesome.
I kind of know how that's going to go.
I do too. Y'all have no idea
How popular the Dew
of
is.
the outstanding results that you'll get for the Dew.
Okay, so that's my number 5.
Okay, that's a solid number 5.
My number 4, homemade biscuits, sausage gravy, side of hash browns, crispy, covered with cheese. The biscuits and gravy have to have a medium fried egg on top of them. Because I like the yolk runny, but I like the yolk runny to the point where it's not running all over the place. Like I want to be able to dip stuff into it, take the hash browns, dip it in there and all that kind of stuff. Fresh OJ with pulp and a diner coffee, like just a straight up diner percolated coffee. It's not the fanciest thing. It's nostalgic on the diner coffee.
I was going to say, it's probably not tasty.
You know what? It gets the job done. Okay. And it makes me think about like my youth. So yeah, there are some nostalgic aspects of my list. I will say, they're not necessarily the most gourmet or whatever, but sometimes you got to think about things that kind of bring you back.
So what about this question, just real quick before you go on? If you had to think just on a scale of 1 to 10, how different is your list now than 20, 25 years ago?
Oh, much different.
Completely
probably.
different.
Yeah.
I mean, I would be much more simple 25 years ago.
I figured all of us would, yeah.
And 25 years ago, mine would lend towards the sweeter side.
Okay. And
Cereal, cinnamon rolls.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mountain Dew.
Yeah.
Not diet.
Not
Fuck that diet
diet.
stuff.
Yeah.
Give me the
I
big
went
Mountain
full
Dew.
leaded
Let
back
it,
then.
let it do.
That's right.
But okay, so and I will say this about my list: I don't have a thing that's sweet on there. Like and you know what?
Well, then you're missing out.
I have it in honorable mention territory.
Okay.
I just don't have. I if I've got to like narrow it down to my favorite things in the world, like for breakfast, like totally gluttonous desire, I'm not gonna put a sweet thing on there.
No.
Okay.
Just for me. Just
That's
for
fair
me.
enough. Fair enough. But just so everybody knows, we do get at the end, we'll have each 2 or 3 honorable mentions.
Okay.
that we can
Okay.
mention.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fair enough, because
Numero tres.
Tres.
Going with the French dish here. I don't know if you guys have ever had.
Quiche,
No.
souffle.
No. Both are great.
Okay.
This is a croque madame. Have you ever had one of these before?
I'm thinking of the sandwich.
It is, but the
I've not had it
madame,
as a breakfast.
the madame part has a fried egg on top of it, and so it's like sourdough bread with like
The ham
and the Gruyere in
Yeah.
there. It's like a grilled cheese
and the cheese on top of that other slice.
and a bechamel on the
Yeah.
top with a fried egg, and it is a damn tasty.
I've never had that. Have you?
neither have I.
I've
but
never
it
even
sounds-
seen it offered at a restaurant.
Sounds good.
Go to a boozy sometime. It is
have
definitely
that
on the
in a
menu.
Boozy?
Oh yeah.
I've been to a boozy. I didn't notice that. Okay.
Now I'm going to make my side. This would be if I was making the dish. It is a butternut squash hash with sausage. So I do this at home sometimes. It's like take like very like some cubed butternut squash and just roast it in the oven with like some sausage mixed into it. And if you want to get real fancy, put some peppers in there. It's really tasty. It's a nice little sweet component.
Nice.
And then I'm going to have a glass of champagne with that.
Okay. You're going beverage.
I
Guess I better.
mean, I
did.
I
Yeah.
try. Okay,
did.
Yeah.
so the way it was posed to me, like this afternoon, was that we want a complete meal,
Yeah.
and so I put the beverage with it.
Okay. Fair enough.
You know,
So did
Fair
I.
enough.
Yeah.
As
the-
I said that to you,
the
beverage
dew
never
and the
entered my
tea.
mind.
We could call it a Dave Scott Palmer or something like that, like the dew and the tea.
And those are separate, by the way. The Mountain Dew and the iced
don't
tea.
blend 'em?
No.
Okay, all
Now
right.
that would be freaky.
He's not crazy, man.
Okay. Jeez. Okay, number 2. I'm going to go ahead and start and just say breakfast tacos. And I know that's a regional thing, but like,
Is it really anymore?
I don't know, maybe not.
Okay.
Maybe not. But like, I think I want to mention, like, I like the just traditional breakfast taco, which is like your bacon, eggs, things like that. And I just like portable foods. Like it's a thing for me, right? But I will say this, and just as an aside, I've gone to the Southwest where they do green chili burritos, breakfast burritos. Those things are freaking good. Like roasted green chilies mixed in. Oh,
So like diced up green chilies mixed
yeah,
in with,
with
your
eggs
meat
and
Okay.
all that
I've
kind of
seen
stuff.
that, yeah.
So that's kind of nice. But like breakfast, like a breakfast taco, it could be anything. It could be barbacoa. It could be a bacon. It could be chorizo. I like it all. Like, and I like a little charro beans with a little pork in it, that kind of thing. Several sauce options, salsa verde, like I want a few of them, to be able to like mix it up.
A little bite of each one.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
and
I'm with you.
I want to chase it back with the michelada.
Okay.
So that's number 2, and number 1 is going to get some scrutiny.
It's number 1.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm stealing from
Don't say French
from Dave's
toast.
list.
Okay.
Lox, bagel, cream cheese, capers, pour over. Dude, I mean, if I could just start every morning like that, I would be a happy guy. I freaking love smoked salmon.
Yep.
Like, I just absolutely love it. And an everything bagel with smoked salmon and cream cheese. Dude, it's like magical. I know it doesn't sound like the most epic thing. I mean, after going croque madame and like, you know, crazy biscuits and gravy stuff and things like that. But like, I'm just thinking of like my go-to, like if I just had like a daily thing, that would just be it.
Okay.
You know,
I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
That's a damn good
number
choice.
Number one, though, I'm a little. Your two lists. You start with it at 5. He pops it all the way up to number 1.
And it really goes down to like from a frequency point. It's not like the last meal I'm ever going to have, the most epic meal, but it's like if I could just pick one thing off the list.
Okay, one of your favorite things to eat.
It's like you know how we talked about like with Dave Jennings before, like he's like, I'll just have a Russell's or a Wild Turkey 101.
Sure.
You know, that's
Something
my last
you know.
4. Like something
Consistent.
you know, something you like, you know, and it's just one of those things I've always liked it.
Okay. I have no issues with that. I think it's a solid list. You know, we talked about it the last episode or a couple episodes ago with Sean in. You're a big roller. You know, you're a money guy, so you go with all these fancies and champagnes and all that.
Yeah.
Solid
If
list.
you want me to make a fancy pants dance, I'll do it.
Let's see it.
Okay. I don't know what you do, but yeah, sure.
So, Dave, how you rate his list?
Oh, I think it's excellent.
Is there anything on there you wouldn't want?
If I were going to leave one out, it would be the croque madame.
Same. I've never thought of that as a breakfast.
not
Love
that-
the sandwich.
Yes.
Fan of the sandwich. I've just never
Yeah,
had
that's
it as
getting a
breakfast.
little more into lunchtime for me.
I'm not saying I wouldn't try it, and I might change my mind, but
I think you guys need to try it.
Yeah.
Because
Hey, I'm not dissing it. I'm just saying if I were going to leave one out, that would be the one.
the one I would leave out off your list would be chicken and waffles.
Only
for me.
because you haven't had it.
Well, it just doesn't interest me. I've never had it because I've seen it and went, yeah, nah. And I've seen people order it, and I go, maybe, and I see it come out and go, yeah, nah.
hey, if Chick-fil-A had it on the menu, you might like it.
More than if Cane's had it. More than
Chicken
if
with
Cane's had
waffle
it.
fries?
Yeah. and he ha ha funny.
All right, big talker. What's your list?
Okay, my list is for people who really enjoy breakfast. So, all right, you're welcome, audience. I'll bring it home with some solid stuff here that people can appreciate.
Cool.
And
No
enjoy.
expectations here.
Yeah.
Number 5 on my list, classic American breakfast. It's been said, biscuits and gravy.
Yeah, I mean, can't
But-
go wrong there.
Biscuits and gravy need to be, if you make it at home, you need to make homemade biscuits. I mean, there's just nothing like a homemade biscuit. Now, I will
Agreed.
tell you, me and my son, we like scrambled eggs. You know, get your biscuit. Believe it or not, I still butter the biscuit. Little scrambled egg on each top before you ladle that gravy over. So
Okay.
we like it that way. Pan-fried potatoes.
Okay.
One of our-
Can't go
one of
wrong
our
with that.
favorites. The next breakfast for me, number 4, is a skillet. Kind of similar to what you had said.
Corned beef hash.
Not a corned beef hash. So I do I'll do pan-fried potatoes, and that'll be our base on the plate. And I say us because me and my son love this. And then I'll have some good quality bacon that we'll chop up and put all over the potatoes. And then we'll put a layer of sprinkled good quality cheese, usually a Munster cheese on top of that. Throw on a couple of over easy eggs on top of that. Sprinkle a little more cheese with your favorite salsa. Mix it all up with a tortilla, and that's our breakfast skillet.
Oh yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought about it for my list, honestly, because I really like that. Like if I go to a Denny's or something like that, they have all those skillets and stuff.
Yeah.
They're damn good.
You know, there's something about when you have the potato, the salsa, the egg, and the bacon, you can mix that together for
absolutely.
one bite.
Yeah.
It's just a tremendous bite. I mean, it's just
Some people don't like
flavor
their
burst.
food touching.
That's fine. They're missing out.
Yeah. I'm not one of those.
You're not one of those?
No.
Good man.
I do have a daughter that's one of those.
Just to backtrack on number 5, with the Eggs Benedict, I'm a solid coffee pour over. With the biscuits and gravy. Solid coffee pour over with the skillet. I'm going to go a Diet Sprite with that.
What is going on?
I'm just kidding, Carter. I'm just kidding.
God, I was about
Right?
to lose my mind. Like, what kind of freaking bizarro world am I in?
I'm a coffee guy. If I'm going to have anything with I mean, I might do an orange juice or something like that, but typically I like my coffee, unless I'm having something sweet. So if you hear me mention anything sweet, you'll know there's a little glass of milk.
No alcohol with breakfast.
Oh, I will, but that's not. It's not typical. That's a brunch kind of thing. If I'm going to have alcohol, my wife's the lush that will have alcohol with every weekday morning.
Sweet.
Well, sounds like a good life to me.
So is the gravy on the biscuit? Is it a red eye gravy? Does it have coffee in the?
No, I've never done that. Have you made that?
Red eye gravy is awesome. We used to make it all the time.
I don't even really need to answer that question. I'm a Diet Mountain Dew and tea guy, so I don't make coffee. So there is no coffee in my gravy.
Oh, I didn't know if you might make the cup to put it in there. You don't even like the coffee flavor at all in anything. So you've never cooked a brisket where coffee's your rub?
I have tried it one time where coffee,
you do like coffee,
where ground coffee was a component of the rub.
Yeah.
But it was instant coffee because it melts.
Really?
It is not ground coffee because that just burns and gets bitter. On the bark of a brisket.
I can show you how to cook that properly.
No.
Hey, so just a quick question. I don't mean to pause your list here, but so like when you get up out of bed, you just crack a dew?
I said that's the first thing.
Dude,
that's what I
take.
take
Out of bed, 2 steps, and there's a little fridge in his bedroom.
I get my exercise going to the fridge in the laundry room, at least 15 steps. So.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
And I mean, a good swig of that with my morning meds, and
that's
somebody's feeling good. He's ready to do some jumping jacks.
That's right. Get that instant shot of caffeine.
That's amazing. That's truly amazing.
That is amazing. I was going to say some other things, but I won't. There's people around. So, B's and G's number 5, skillet, breakfast number 4. My number 3 is just your classic American. I mean, I like over easy eggs. Now we're talking hash browns, and I like them like you'd mentioned. They got to have that nice crispy outer.
And are we talking hash browns like shredded potatoes?
Yes, that's a hash brown.
Okay, yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
And where it's cooked in one nice piece, you flip the whole thing.
Yep.
Tender in the middle, nice crispy on both sides, not just one side.
Yeah.
Flip that bad boy and give me some crust on both sides.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And then I like bacon and or sausage. Sometimes you go 2 meats,
Yeah.
That's what she said. And then I do like my toast. I'm a toast guy. Some people might want a biscuit with that kind of classic American. I like my toast.
I think I like toast with the American better.
It's not as dense as a biscuit. And, there's nothing like having that egg yolk, left on your plate, and you want to take that toast and just kind of clean that plate a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
And then this is where I like my dessert. I want a short stack of a couple quality buttermilk pancakes. I don't want any fruit in them. I don't want any chocolate chips in them. I want a straight, good maple syrup. And I won't even eat the whole thing. I just want 2 or 3 bites, and this is where I'll have my glass of milk and wash that bad boy down. The classic American breakfast, to me, is one of the best that you can get. It's just solid every time you have it.
I like it. I'd rather have blueberries in my pancakes, but that's because I'm an aristocrat.
There's other things I could say. Okay. You're with me.
If I'm going to add fruit, it's going to be strawberries on top, not blueberries within.
Exactly. So that's number 3 for me. Number 2 for me is, I'm going to tell me how I do, Dave.
Okay.
Kind of give me a grade on this.
We can call him Do Dave.
Do Dave. Tell me how I do, Dave. Do Dave. Tell me how I do, Dave. Huevos rancheros.
Damn good.
Huevos rancheros.
Oh, look at my man here.
Rancheros.
I love huevos rancheros.
Like a good Corinthian leather.
I think most people know what this is. I'm a fan of, this is the, if I had to compare it to something, it might be the Spanish or the Mexican eggs Benedict, if you might want to go that way.
Yeah.
You take a corn tortilla, you fry it. Most people know what this is. Corn tortilla. You don't have to have a protein. You can if you have some. Sometimes when I have extra barbacoa over from a night of barbacoa tacos or something, I'll have that in the morning, or I might throw something else on there. But typically it's just the tortilla, a nice fried egg, and over easy. I like that runny yolk, some cheese and salsa. here's where I want my refried beans and some pan-fried potatoes. And refried beans have to have hot sauce on them with a little bit of Munster cheese.
I don't know that I've had them with the Munster cheese.
No,
You know,
I like
Munster-
mine with cotija.
Munster cheese is one of the most popular cheeses in Mexico.
Yep.
I mean, with tacos and everything, it's the number one cheese that you cook with. And I know this for a fact. I'm married to a Mexican.
I'm going to text Luis right now.
Ask him.
It's-
But huevos rancheros, I mean, all the breakfasts we're kind of mentioning are kind of versatile, and you can do some different things.
Yeah,
with.
sure.
And huevos rancheros is definitely one of those. Like I said, putting in the meats or different sauces, different things like that. But it's one of my absolute favorites. Not hard to make, but very, very tasty.
Yep.
oh, delicious.
And one component of yours that I did leave out of my carne guisada breakfast was the refried beans.
Got to have refried
I
beans.
forgot to add that in there, but yes,
Refried beans.
refried beans with some cotija cheese on top.
Yep. Cotilla's good too.
Yep.
No doubt about it. And, when Sandra and I, she'll talk during the week and be like, we want beans for breakfast this weekend. She'll make a pot like on Wednesday or
Nice.
Thursday because when you do huevos and things
Whole
like that,
beans, or then you
mash them.
into
We put them
make
in
them
the
into
skillet
refried.
and then use the potato masher and mash our beans. And
Yeah.
oh, hell yeah. That's
Yeah.
good stuff, man.
But on the first meal, are they whole beans when you eat them the first time?
No.
And then the morning you turn them into refried?
Well, no, we make them for breakfast.
Okay.
So we make them. They're ready to go. They're seasoned. They're good. The next morning, we just ladle them with some of that, liquid.
Yep.
Mash them up, and that's we make them for breakfast.
Gotcha.
I mean, that's good. I'm a charro bean fan myself. Just like the whole beans, but I don't mind refried beans. I think they're great.
I mean, typically, if we have a Mexican dinner, we usually eat a black bean. I'm a fan of black beans too.
I like
we
those,
eat,
too.
We eat a lot of those, and that's where I would also eat a charro bean. If I'm out at a restaurant, I will take charro beans most of the time over refried beans for dinner.
Yep.
But when it comes to breakfast,
Yeah, you gotta have
when you can
refrieds.
get that white and the yolk and the bite of that with the beans. I mean,
It's not
there's
a
not
bad-
much better. Than
I mean,
that.
I agree. It's a good delivery system.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'll just say this: beans rock. Like,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they just very versatile and very awesome.
Go great with shrimp.
Go great with
Yeah.
chili.
Go great with chili. I mean, if we're going to be honest, it's what makes it a chili and not a beef soup.
Yeah, I would agree with that. 100%.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's see how many people we can piss off right now.
Just people in Texas.
Just the people in Texas.
Everybody else has a little sense about them.
Yeah. All right, what's number one, big dog?
Number one is one that I think one of you mentioned, maybe both of you. I think it was Carter. And, I'm an idiot because I said I didn't have any seafood on mine, but I do.
It's in the number one spot.
It's in the number one spot, like a dummy. I don't know why I didn't think about when you were saying fish and stuff. I don't think of this when I think of fish. I'm thinking when you say fish, I'm thinking, snapper or sea bass or something. Smoked salmon to me is just kind of a condiment. You don't go, what's for dinner? Let's just have some smoked salmon and mashed potatoes. It goes on something. So I didn't think of it that way.
Yeah.
I'm trying to backpedal here and
It's definitely seafood.
it makes sense kind of a little bit, doesn't it? Though my reasoning for that. Come on. Help me out a little bit.
Isn't it? Well, I mean, I don't know if it would be seafood. It'd be land food. Or, river food, right? I mean, don't salmon swim in rivers?
Well, I don't know. They get caught in the ocean
They make their way to the ocean.
from the Atlantic.
I guess they do both, right? I don't know. Anyway.
So Eggs Benedict is my number one. And I'm a huge fan of Eggs Benedict. For this list, I did list it with the smoked salmon, with a solid English muffin, not some of this, Thomas crap and stuff. You got to get a good English muffin. And I make my own hollandaise, a nice solid poached egg on that smoked salmon with the solid hollandaise. And there's nothing like sprinkling on some cayenne pepper on top of that hollandaise. And then I just do my pan-fried fries or potatoes, whatever you want to call them again, and I'm very happy. That is my
I love Eggs
number one
Benedict.
breakfast. Now, I love it because I've done it with crab cakes. I've done it. You can change it out and get a good sour bread and make a nice toast and do an Eggs Benedict that way with that as
Sure.
your base. I mean, to me, Eggs Benedict, a lot of these, again, we said it has versatility, and I just think it's fun to play with different things when you make these kinds of dishes.
Hey, I think it's a French dish, right?
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know how you always say the French don't have good dishes.
No, I don't say that. I say they have 2 or 3, and that's it. name me 5. Go.
I mean,
Go. 5.
Right now?
You know exactly. If I say name me 5 dishes in Italian.
I mean, you're putting me on the spot here, man. I don't even know what I'm thinking about.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I mean,
French make great sauces, a bechamel, great sauce.
hey,
Hollandaise,
okay, I
great
got like croque madame is on my list. Eggs Benedict is on my list. You can go. Oh shoot, what is it? What's the chicken thing?
You tell
Cordon
me.
bleu.
Oh, coco.
Yeah, you can go coq au vin.
You helped him.
You go beef bourguignon.
That's Russian.
No, it's not. but yeah, I mean,
Keep going. Keep going.
Oh, you said 5. I
I
named
know.
5.
Yeah, it took a minute, but go ahead.
God dang.
You brought this
Hey,
up.
quiche is freaking good.
Okay, quiche is good.
Okay.
I said pastries and sauces, they're fantastic.
Is quiche a pastry? Though?
I don't have any idea why we don't download well in France. I don't get it.
How about French fries?
Why do we don't download well in France? Because they're probably like, we already hated Americans. Now we hate them
Yeah,
more.
but say it like they say it.
We always hated Americans. We don't like this show.
Okay, that's my top 5. Go ahead and give me your solid, not solid, and what you wouldn't have on there that I have. If you took one off.
No, that's solid. I agree.
I mean, I agree with your list. I like
Yeah.
it. I mean, I don't know what to say. I'm trying to think of anything that I wouldn't necessarily. I mean, like I have the American breakfast on my honorable mention list just because I think it's just solid.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and for me, that's the traditional American breakfast. I mean, that is just what it is.
It's just classic.
That's why it didn't make it into my top 5. Is just because that is classic. That's
I mean, it's just really good.
Yeah.
I mean, you had an excessive use of the over easy egg as well, which I can definitely go for.
There's just nothing. There's nothing better than. I mean, obviously I had scrambled on my biscuits and gravy, but an over easy egg is just. I mean, it's just.
Dude,
delightful.
I mean, it's just amazing.
It is.
It's one of the great pleasures of life.
And I know a few people who don't like eggs. I'm trying to think of like Guy Fieri.
Guy
doesn't
Fieri,
like
yep.
eggs.
He doesn't?
No. And other people there that don't like eggs. And I'm like, God,
I'm like shocked. He doesn't like eggs.
Anytime they fix him a burger that has a fried egg on it, he tells them to leave it off. If they fix a ramen or something that has an egg in it,
a soft boiled egg or something.
He tells them, don't break the yolk. Whatever you do, don't. Because
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! I feel like I just lost respect for the guy.
and I had an uncle that would.
He's obviously never been to Flavortown.
No,
He's the mayor.
Yeah.
I had an uncle, a step uncle, that the only way he would eat eggs, scrambled eggs, is if they were well done. Because he worked on a chicken farm.
Oh,
And
yeah.
so he was jaded for life because chickens are some of the nastiest animals on earth.
But you bring up a good question. Before we get into our honorable mentions, we can have 2 or 3, whatever's on your list.
5, 6.
That's too many.
I want to mention them all.
Scrambled eggs. I mean, there's a proper way to cook scrambled eggs and the texture. Tell me how. I know how I like them. Sandra knows how I like them. She hates them the way I make them. How do you guys like your scrambled eggs?
I'll tell you how I cook mine.
Okay. That'll tell me how you like them.
Yeah. So do my scrambled eggs, and cook them like everybody else does. You put them in the pan or whatever. When they're about 65 to 75% done, I cut the heat off. I put a lid on top of the pan, and I let it sit for about 5 minutes, and then they're done.
Okay. No little dab of butter in there?
Not really.
Okay.
Not really. Just I don't want them. I don't want the eggs to be too over. I'd rather have them under than over.
Thank you. What's the texture when your eggs are done?
Kind of light, pillowy. Like they may have they're definitely moist though.
Okay.
They're not like dry.
Okay. Dave?
Yeah. So
Similar,
but I'll start off the pan with a pat of butter in it. But I like to mix either half and half. If I've got whole milk, I'll mix whole milk, but I either half and half or heavy whipping cream.
Okay.
Just
A dab.
A dab, not like half a cup into 3 eggs. Just some to add some volume to it.
Okay.
Whip them. With a fork. Pour them in the pan, and like Matt, I like mine underdone.
Me too.
I like my scrambled eggs still to have a little runniness to them.
Oh, man, I am so happy to hear you two say that. We eat eggs the right way.
And
Yes.
a little sharp cheddar cheese added on
Oh,
top.
yeah.
That's just, there's nothing wrong with,
And then my award-winning homemade salsa.
award-winning. It is very well thought of and, award-winning.
Did you win the salsa competition?
I did.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
So I do my eggs the same way, but I start with that real low heat.
Yep.
And it just takes a little bit longer, and you just kind of keep letting
Rake
it come.
into the middle,
Yep.
let
letting
it
kind of fill
backfill.
in, and just
Yep.
and then with the butter, got to have
Oh.
the butter.
Yeah.
Just salt and pepper, seasoned properly.
Yep.
And if you had that, I don't need. I'll take the cheese. I don't need the cheese.
No,
but
I don't need the cheese.
Eating
either.
the eggs the right way with that kind of, I call it creamy, not so much runny, but we know we're talking about the same thing.
Creamy, yep.
It's the most delicious way to eat a scrambled egg. If you're going to have, and the reason I don't get scrambled eggs a lot of times when I go out to a restaurant, they just cook those shit out of those
Do
things.
not cook them right.
Yeah,
I agree.
Never
I agree
cook 'em
completely.
right. So I don't want them.
Yeah, a dry scrambled egg is the worst.
Awful.
It's just the worst.
If when you're eating scrambled eggs, they break into pieces,
oh yeah, no.
that's a shitty scrambled egg.
Yep.
Yeah,
So
no.
your scrambled eggs should maintain they should hold together.
I should cut them with a fork as I take my bite.
Yes, they shouldn't separate on their own and into crumbles.
And there's a pleasure to eating eggs the way you're describing when they're whole and you take that bite and you see that break off of that creamy. It just enhances the experience of eating a good egg.
Yep.
A good scrambled egg.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Scrambled eggs, I could live off of scrambled eggs. Like I love eggs. I could
Same.
eat fried eggs. I could eat scrambled eggs all the time. I just really love eggs.
Same.
So,
Same. So like we're talking like during the week, you may not have breakfast or whatever, but typically at the beginning of the week, I'll boil a dozen eggs. And for me, breakfast in the morning, 2 hard-boiled eggs. I'll cut them in half, sprinkle some Tony Chachere's on
nice.
each half, and
Nice.
off I go.
That's with a little dew.
a little dew.
That's
A little
the
dew will
given.
do.
Let me tell you guys a very underutilized but yet very tasty egg dish.
Okay.
An egg salad sandwich done well.
Absolutely.
Totally agree.
Yeah.
So badass.
Yep.
Like,
Talk about a good lunch. That's a good lunch sandwich.
hell yeah.
Yeah.
If you've ever been to Local Foods, they have a truffle version of that, where they mix in a little bit of truffle oil in the egg salad. Real good.
Nice. I thought you were going to say some shaved truffle or something.
Well, that would probably cost a little
That
bit
would
more.
be like
right?
a $50 egg
Depends on if
sandwich.
they're black or white.
Yeah, true. That's true.
All right, honorable
We don't have to
mentions.
get racist here.
Whoa.
All right, I like both truffles.
Yeah.
Let's go with our honorable mentions. Who wants to tee it up first?
I'll go.
Okay.
So my honorable mention, mostly sweet was left out of my top 5.
Yep.
So, but one thing I do absolutely love is French toast. So, and I make a good French toast with challah bread,
Okay.
Jewish challah bread, with some chopped, not almonds, chopped walnuts or pecans on top, little sprinkle of powdered sugar, and light syrup.
I mean,
Solid.
can't complain with that. That's awesome.
And to go with that, a mixture of blueberries, strawberries with just a little sprinkling of sugar so that they macerate and start to release the juice.
I love it. That sounds good. Very good.
Makes me think of one I've done a couple times. I haven't done it in a while, but I'll do the challah bread. But I'll do, when I make the French toast, when I stack it, I'll put some brie in between, the brie cheese, and then the syrup will be a red wine with a maple syrup reduction that gets drizzled all over the top. That comes out pretty good for that sweet kind of French toast.
Sounds nice.
Yeah.
It's almost elevated to kind of your hoity-toity status.
Yeah, I am a fancy pants for
You
sure.
have any other?
No, that's pretty much
That's it? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so my list, I've got a few.
Well, you get 3.
Okay. Well, I'll start with kind of something that I really like.
Okay.
That it didn't quite make it to the list, but it's something that I would probably order, 5 times out of 10.
Okay.
And that's an omelet, a ham and cheese omelet.
Okay.
I absolutely love it, and actually, this is going to kind of bring me to the diner thing and the Waffle House thing, because I grew up in the South, the real South, like Alabama.
The real
Like,
South.
yeah.
It's like you're in Texas. That ain't the South.
That's not the South. It's damn good.
It's Southwest.
But the South, I'm talking about, like, there's Waffle Houses everywhere.
Okay.
And what they do is they actually put the eggs in a blender to make them
Airy,
airy and fluffy. So, you'd have an omelet, like a ham and cheese omelet with this fluffy egg.
So it's not like this thin egg. It's
Right.
this
Yeah,
nice
it's like
bed of egg.
really nice.
That's a good way to do it.
Yeah, so real tasty.
Okay, what's in your omelet?
I just like
Ham,
just
cheese?
a straight
Oh, okay.
ham and cheese omelet,
right.
And if I can get Swiss cheese, I definitely like it, just because I think it just pairs really well with ham. But I'll take cheddar. That's fine. I don't really care.
I like that dish, but when I have it and make it, I like sauteed mushrooms. Mushrooms and butter, sauteed down, and throw it in with my ham and cheese, and then I'm happy.
Oh, I like all kinds of omelets. Like Denver omelets are badass, and
See, I'm not a Denver guy.
not Rocky
Onions
Mountain
and
High.
all that,
Yeah. What if it were grilled onions though? Like,
Grilled onions be fine.
okay,
I'd do it that way.
okay, yeah. So, like, I mean, you could make a
version of it.
variation
Yeah,
on it or
absolutely.
something like that. But yeah, I just think that that's really just
It's a solid pick.
just,
I mean,
it's something that I would order a lot.
I think omelets, back in the day we were talking about 20, 25 years ago, I would have probably said omelet.
Yeah,
I used to like omelets a lot. I think I just kind of grew out of it, if you will.
I hear
not-
it's a French dish.
It's a solid. Is it French?
I think omelet is French.
Omelette.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure it's Vietnamese.
no.
I'm just kidding. They have a lot of French.
There's
You
French
have the
influence.
for sure. No doubt.
No, it's a solid, but that's why it's not on my list. It's French, but anyway,
We we're never going to take over this country.
I love French wine. Love French wine
yeah, you
and
just
people. I love French people.
you have a problem with their food.
Not there. I don't have a problem with it. There's just not much of it.
That's why they're all so thin.
Exactly.
That's it. Ooh la la.
Okay, what else you got? You got
okay.
the omelet.
Okay, so I'm gonna mention 2 things.
Okay.
Well, chicken and waffles was one, but I'm not gonna put that as my. I want to mention 2 things that kind of have come recently in my life that I really like, and it happens to be because of my wife. So in Russia, they are nuts about crepes. And they do what they're called, like, in Russian, they're called blini. So, like, just my wife is a fucking machine. Sorry for the language, but I know this is a kid's show. But, like, when she makes crepes, I mean, like, she's got 2 pans going. She's got, like, she's putting, every time she makes a crepe, she's putting butter on top of the layers. So she's stacking them up in layers.
And they don't stick.
With just butter and just soaking it up and everything. And they have this kind of like, it's a farmer's cheese that you kind of mix up with sugar. And, you don't have to put raisins in it. But, yeah, I know you're not a fan. But I like raisins. So the cheese is called tvarok, I think is how you say it. But it's kind of like a dry cottage cheese, and you mix it up with, like, I think it's like cream cheese or sour cream and sugar, and you fold it into these crepes, and you put, like, some fruit on top. Oh,
Wondering why we never had these.
I don't know.
I think you actually have had these at the
Oh.
Russian night. We made them.
Russian night, you made them?
They were there. They had raisins in them, and you were like,
Oh, that's probably why I didn't have them.
yeah.
Okay.
So that's just one that I mean,
They sound delicious, minus the raisins.
you don't have to put raisins. It's not a requirement. So they have another thing that is like, it's called sirniki, and so it's kind of like it's like a pancake that's made with this farmer's cheese, and it's got flour in it and sour cream in it and sugar, and so you kind of fry it up like in a pan, like a You get a kind of almost like a Johnny cake or something like that, and you put like a little jam on the top of it or something. You know, you can do whatever you want. It's just a conduit for a lot of different things, and it's just really nice. That combination of the sweet with the cheese, like in a cake, is just really good. And
Absolutely.
And I'm just giving it. I know my wife will listen to this episode, so baby, I'm giving you a little credit here,
Little love.
a little love.
So that's 3. You good?
I'm good. I mean, I could add more, but
I know we all like breakfast. There could be a long list.
Oh, yeah.
And the more you talk about it, it's like, oh yeah, I could have added that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'd go with that.
Exactly. Okay, I got 3, and I'm going to start with just the classic breakfast sandwich.
Oh, it was on my list.
We talked about tacos, and I think I knew people would say tacos. You know, where we are, it's very popular. It's delicious. I love breakfast tacos, but a breakfast sandwich is also very good.
Oh, excellent.
And to me, if I'm going to make a breakfast sandwich at home, again, homemade biscuits, got to have the homemade biscuits. And I'm a bigger fan of the biscuit as my bread than I am like an English muffin. I'll eat an English muffin, but biscuits to me are the best for a breakfast sandwich. But I also think American Kraft singles are the best cheese for a breakfast sandwich.
I would agree.
The melt, the coverage, the evenness, the sweetness of the cheese. I mean, it's just absolutely delicious.
I would agree wholly.
It's the sweet processedness.
Yep. If
Whatever, I don't care.
It's good. No,
if I make a fried egg sandwich, that Kraft American cheese is going on it.
Yep, and you nailed how I make my breakfast sandwiches. I don't make them with a scrambled egg.
No, fried egg.
A fried egg,
Yeah.
but I'll just poke the yolk and let it just cook a little, so I'm not just squirting it everywhere, but it's just kind of soft and creamy where I can take enough bites
so that's
quickly
kinda-
enough it doesn't go away.
That's kind of like Matt's.
That's what she said.
I do like that.
That's Matt's medium fried egg.
Medium fried egg, yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, a fried egg over medium is a beautiful thing.
For me, an over easy egg is just make sure the whites aren't runny.
Correct.
Once
Yeah.
they're not runny, get that thing off.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I like that, but like I like it to be more of a thicker yolk, and that's just for me. I'm down with the thickness.
Yeah, because when I cook my fried eggs, I cook them a longer time on the first side so that you get the little crispy edges all the way around.
Yeah.
And then flip it over, maybe count to 5, then flip it right back over.
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Number 2 for me on the honorable mention list would be, and you can make this for a family of 4, or I like to do these a lot of times when we have family in town or friends coming over, a breakfast casserole.
Oh,
I think
also on my list.
the versatility of
Sometimes
I'll make 2 different ones. You can put your jalapenos and sausage, and you can do bacon and cheese in this one, and to be able to cut those out with your squares and some salsa on top, and to me, if just a little pan fried potato or some hash browns, solid breakfast. And it's always what I like about that is if you have people coming over, you can prepare it even the night before.
Yep.
And you can just have that baby ready to go. When it comes out of the oven, everybody's eating. So you're not like cooking to order breakfast for people. So it gets you sitting at the table with everybody, put both casseroles out, and you just start enjoying the morning with everybody. So breakfast casserole is a big one for me.
I wholeheartedly agree with this. And I will say it's a tradition whenever we host a holiday, breakfast casserole is how we start. And I always make it. And it's like every time we have a family gathering, boom, I do a breakfast casserole.
And I've had them savory like that and sweet, like a French toast.
Oh, that's good too.
You get sourdough bread, tear it in chunks. You make your custard.
I'll toast it in the
nice.
oven for like 10 minutes, get it crunchy so it absorbs that. Yep.
Get it. You just
I've done those.
tear your bread, put it in the casserole.
It's almost like a bread pudding.
Yes. Pour your custard over the top, put it in the refrigerator overnight.
Yep.
Like you said.
Best way to do it.
Yep.
Man, that's awesome. Yeah, for sure.
Yep. And my third one for honorable mention, another favorite of mine, chilaquiles.
Oh, they're great.
Yeah.
One of my favorites. I love that dish, and there's a couple places that do it well. We found a place here in Houston, Homestead, down in the Heights.
Oh, I've not been there.
Oh, we've been there a few times now. We Ashley and Sandra and I, when Ashley house sits for you, matter of fact.
Okay, yes.
We go in on Saturdays and take her to brunch, and they have a chilaquiles dish that is phenomenal. I mean, it is so freaking good that, I mean, it's going to be hard for me to go to the Heights and have breakfast in that area and not go to Homestead to have that dish. That's how good it is. I mean, they really do a fantastic job.
Nice.
So chilaquiles is one that I really, really enjoy.
I'm a fan.
Yeah. So that's my top 3. I think breakfast is just an outstanding meal. Lots of versatility, lots of ways to go. Can't go wrong. I don't think anybody had anything that I would just say is, other than a little do with breakfast. But
I mean, I've not tried it. So maybe I'll wake up tomorrow morning, grab a diet.
I'm gonna go pick one up tonight so I can have it here in the morning.
I mean,
You'll be hooked, I can tell you.
do you have like a 2-liter just next on the bedside?
No, man, I go with the
20 ounce?
20 ounce.
Okay.
I've seen him early at the golf course when we've met up to play golf. And there's that dude.
Yep, 20 ounce.
I've also seen him where he said, "Mother, I forgot my Mountain Dew." I've seen those moments too. And then it's a long day.
I would think that you really have to go to a gas station that has good variety to get a Dew too.
Come on, man.
Diet Mountain Dew.
No.
In the Midwest, I will tell you, Mountain Dew is one of the most popular sodas there is. Mountain Dew is very, very popular in the Midwest. There we call it Panther Piss. Just saying. That's what it's. When I was growing up, everybody was like, hey, you got
some Panther Piss.
Pick me up a Panther Piss. I don't know why. I don't know where that came from. It's the mountain. It's the cat of the mountain.
Yeah.
And the color of the dew looks like, kind of putting that together for
Pretty
you.
electric.
There's a visual.
Well, man, this has been fantastic.
Fun episode. Breakfast. Man, can't go wrong.
Oh, no.
We're going to have to do a brunch kind of get-together one night now.
Moonlight breakfast.
Moonlight breakfast. Yeah, can do that too. I like that.
Yeah.
Well, thanks, guys. That was a lot of fun.
That was a lot of fun.
Absolutely.
Thanks, everybody, for listening to this episode of Food, Wine, and Whiskey in Your Own Backyard. And until our next episode, enjoy your next pour
Of Dew.
Diet Dew.